Investor here, bringing you another independent analysis. This time we're taking a look at ticker symbol SRPT, that's Sarepta Therapeutics Incorporated. The chart we're looking at today is a 15-minute chart. Each candlestick on this chart representing 15 minutes of trading. And there's some very interesting stuff I want to take a look at with you guys on this stock. Some very, very interesting stuff indeed. Now, before we get into that, let's go over those pivot points real quick. So, we have our support lines up here. And then we have our resistance points over here. So, you'll notice that we actually have our candle right below this line. I did include that as support at $43.65. That's going to be this pivot point, but since it's so close to it, there is a little bit of leeway, and it did start coming up. So we are still technically in this support zone. You know, these pivot points, you want to get as close to that price range as possible, but you can have a little bit of leeway, a few, 10 cents or so. It's still going to be in the support level, so we're including that under support, not resistance. So 49.18, 45.45, and 43.65. For resistance, we have $51, $52.17, $54.64, and $55.88. The averages we're looking at today is actually going to be the 13 moving average, not the 10. The 20 moving average and the 50 moving average. You guys know I love the 50 moving average. Don't think I'll ever not use that one. Now, let's get into that really interesting stuff. So, the middle of the trading period was 6:30, which was right about here. Now, you notice we had all this volume and this green candle come after the open. Specifically 19 minutes. If you look at this on the 1-minute chart, you can do this, follow along with me if you like. Go to the 1-minute chart on SRPT and look at where this thing started to run. It was at 6:49 Western, 9:49 Eastern. Now, the very interesting thing is the first press release for SRPT today came out at 10, hold on a second, at, let's see, I get my Eastern and Western times mixed up a little bit, at 9:53. So let's use Eastern time now, strictly Eastern time. So 9:53, the first press release comes out, but we have a lot of volume at 9:49 and 9:50. So much volume and volatility that SRPT got halted. But the first press release came out 3 minutes after that. So what exactly happened there? There was some insider information. There was definitely some sort of manipulation. This thing, it started running 4 minutes before the press release. A lot of buys came in, a lot of volume came in, and it got halted before that press release even occurred. It got halted at 9:50. The press release came out at 9:53, and it wasn't a press release about it being halted specifically. It was the press release about the Department of Health and Human Services showing an accelerated approval under Sector 505B for atipilicin. Now, keep in mind, I'm a finance guy. I'm not a biotech major, so I won't really pronounce these drug names properly. But it was atipilicin, I believe. That's how you pronounce it. So there's definitely some sort of manipulation there. Some people knew about this press release coming out in just a few minutes, and they bought in before it happened. The stock got halted, and during the halt, the press release actually came out. So that's just something to keep a note on. As you guys know, Wall Street is not the most uncorruptible industry. So this was definitely a good example of some corrupt dealings going on. Now, enough about that. Let's get into the technicals. So we have our pivot points plotted out. And you see we had this huge candle, and it actually closed up relatively near the top, super bullish, but it came back down and tested the bottom support, closed at that support line, and bounced right back up. That gave you two great opportunities to play this. The first opportunity was on that initial candle, that initial green candle. However, like we said, that thing was halted before the news even came out. So the only people who really got in on that were people that knew the news was coming out, and they acted on it without the public having that information, which is illegal. The second play came here. This 15-minute candle dipped down and closed right at support and bounced right off, so you had a chance. All those other guys had a chance at getting in around $44 to $43 and playing it all the way up to the high of the day at $56.18, which was still a very nice 20 to 30% gain, maybe even a little more depending on your cost basis and where you sold. So definitely potential there. The rest of the day just kind of channeled in between those two pivot points, and then towards the end of the day, that's when it sold off. It broke 1, 2, 3 levels of support, but came back around and is trying to find support up here now, which we've already discussed. Averages crossed bearish at the very end of the day, 20 crossing over the 13. We want it to remain like this, purple, green, yellow if we're long on it. So it was a great longing opportunity up here, but very strange. people who got in on that one. It was a great longing opportunity here, and then it was a great short over here at the end of the day. So definitely interesting that it has still held 73% of its gains. There could be potential to long or short this tomorrow, but I'm going to be leaning a little bit more towards long. But you know, that could easily change. My opinion could easily change based on the after hours and pre-market trading that occurs, and any other further news that comes out about this. It could easily turn into another short, but for now, I do like that it tried to come back up to support, and I do like that we're still above the 50-period average, and you know, we're still relatively bullish. The RSI isn't great. It tried to break out of the oversold line here, never went back to overbought, but considering that it was oversold, which is a bad area to be, it really didn't sell off too badly. So definitely going to be keeping my eye on this, and I hope you guys found this video useful, and I hope that we all make some good money coming up. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.